talking about measuring with a ruler, and we talked about measuring to the nearest inch, the nearest half inch, and the nearest quarter inch. We're going to look at one more thing today, and that is measuring to the nearest centimeter. Okay, centimeter. And on the ruler, we look at the ruler, the centimeters are the smaller measurements. So the inches are wider in between the numbers, centimeters are much smaller. Okay, so measuring to the nearest centimeter, we would just come to, we'll use this line. We'll come and we look and we say, well, does that line end closer to the 9 or closer to the 10? It's whichever two it's between. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can really see where it's ending up at. Okay, and this is clearly closer to the 9. So measured to the nearest centimeter, this line here is going to be 9 centimeters. Now, oops, you can't see it. 9 centimeters, that line is. All right, and then what you'll also notice is sometimes it will ask you to measure to the nearest millimeter. And this one is a little bit more of a challenge. Okay, and if you don't remember what a millimeter is, millimeters are, I'm going to zoom right in so you can see it. Okay, if this is a centimeter right here, whoops, if this is a centimeter, see all those little marks in between there, those spaces? Each of those spaces between the marks is 1 millimeter long. So a millimeter is only this big. If I draw a line that's a millimeter wide, this is how big a millimeter is. It's very, very tiny. Okay, it's not big at all. Alright, so sometimes we have to measure things to the nearest millimeter. Let's take a look at our line that we got 9 centimeters on and see how many millimeters we get. If we measure it to the nearest millimeters, remember each centimeter is 10 millimeters, so we can count, instead of by ones, we count by tens. I want to get it lined up just perfect. Okay, so we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Boy, I'm going to say 92. 92 millimeters if we're measuring to the nearest millimeter. Okay, so in other words, this line is 9 centimeters and then 2 more eensy weensy teeny tiny millimeters long. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Because that's what we're going to be practicing right now. So this is measuring to the nearest centimeter and the nearest millimeter. All right.